Hi, thank you for joining me for another Basics of the Bible video. My name is Christopher Scott, and in this video we're going to look at the book of Leviticus. The book of Leviticus. If you're new to these videos, I just do a series going book by book. You can find a link to the playlist down there in the description. There's a bunch of videos you can watch for free, all provided here on YouTube to help you learn and understand what the Bible is about and get to know it better and get to know our Lord better as well. So the book of Leviticus. I got some notes in the description. You can follow along there. The book of Leviticus, the one-word description for Leviticus is lawing. Lawing. The book of Leviticus is about the law. Leviticus is important because the people of Israel need to be holy just as God is holy, which talks about in Exodus 19 or Leviticus 19 verses 1 through 2. With a clear picture of who God is and what he can do, which Moses has already told in Genesis and Exodus, God now reveals through Moses how the nation of Israel can rightly obey him. Leviticus lays out a comprehensive system for cleansing the Israelites from their sin and maintaining them as a unique, distinct, and separate people. In other words, Leviticus is the how of Exodus, right? So if you watch a video in Exodus that I did, I'll focus a lot on Exodus chapter 19, verses 3 through 6, that says, God tells the nation of Israel, you need to be holy and unique and distinct and separate than all the other nations. And that was God's will, that they would be a holy priesthood. And so Leviticus gives them the how, tells them how to be holy and unique and distinct. And a key verse for the book of Leviticus is in chapter 19, verse 2. It says, speak to all the congregation of the sons of Israel and say to them, you shall be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy. God has spoken through Moses in Genesis and talked about how through the nation of Abraham, through the family of Abraham, all the earth would be blessed, and that there would be this Messiah that would bless all people. And so Leviticus here, Leviticus 19:2 says that they need to be holy and distinct so that when that Messiah comes, they will recognize him. That's why the nation of Israel must be unique and distinct and separate. Okay? Leviticus has very technical Hebrew language, and it's based in the desert, which has lots of different locations to figure out where they're at. So it is a difficult book to interpret. You hear lots of people saying, I started reading the Bible and I ended in Leviticus. And that's a legitimate concern. It's difficult to read. The Hebrew, the original Old Testament was written in Hebrew. It's very technical. And there's lots of these locations that we don't always know exactly where they are. That makes it difficult too. Leviticus brings more emphasis to Israel being a unique, distinct, and separate people. Like I said, God tells them not to bring shame to his name. Leviticus also teaches the Israelites how to be obedient to God and to trust him. That really is the big idea of the book. So what about the title, Leviticus? Where do we get that name, Leviticus, for our English Bibles? So Leviticus comes from the Greek translation of the Old Testament. So the Old Testament was originally written in Hebrew, but some of the best and oldest manuscripts we have of the Old Testament are in Greek. So they were translated from Hebrew into Greek pretty late on, okay? And so that Greek translation of the Hebrew Old Testament is called the Septuagint. And in the Septuagint, the book of Leviticus is called Leviticon, which means pertaining to the Levites, because the book is a manual for how the Levitical priests of Israel were supposed to operate, how those Levitical priests were supposed to keep the nation of Israel unique and separate. The Hebrew title for the book follows the Hebrew pattern of using the first letter, the first word from the first verse as the title. And that first word, here goes my Hebrew enunciation, vayikra, vayikra, which is the word and he called. It's from the verb Kara, to call. The vav at the beginning is the conjunction and the yik is the third person singular imperfect. So vayikra, and he called. I took 3 semesters of Hebrew in seminary. I did pass, but my enunciation is still a little rusty and I struggle with it. So the Hebrew title starts with and he called, vayikra, which is from the first word, and emphasizes God's theme of a call to holiness. It's a call, and he called. He called them to holiness. Okay? So that's a few thoughts on the book of Leviticus. One way to outline it that I really like, based on Charles Ryrie's Study Bible notes, he outlines it in 2 sections. The first chapter talks about the way to God, which is by sacrifice. We approach God through sacrifice in Leviticus, first 10 chapters. Then chapters 11 through 27 talk about the walk with God, sanctification. How do we continue to walk with God after we have made our sacrifices to him? So that's the book of Leviticus. Thanks for watching and joining me. If you found this video helpful, you're welcome to subscribe. There's also a link in the first comment down there where you can subscribe to my monthly email newsletter. My promise is I send you 1 email a month with the newest articles that I get published, as well as the newest videos that I make here on YouTube. So thanks for watching. I hope to catch you again soon for another video.